left, right.
Yo, what's up, my friends? Thank you for joining us. This is an interesting episode. We're talking about liquor. We're a little liquored up to begin with, so we struggled to get through this one, and I'm struggling to edit this one. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully you agree with us on our liquor ordering. But let me know, and I will see you guys on the other end. This is SipTalk. Grab a drink and enjoy.
Of course, let's go.
Cheers.
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 My name is Justin DiGiulio. This is Sip Talk. Welcome to episode 122. I'm joined by Adam. He's in the band, Adam Sindaband, also out of my basement in New Jersey. Took a long time to get him out here. He's here. He's trapped. The doors are locked. He's not going anywhere. Also joined by David Boswell, political scientist in, where are you now? San Diego?
Sunny San Diego.
Sunny San Diego. And it is sunny there. It's dark as shit here in New Jersey. And it looks like James, the Bartender Boswell, is now joining us. Stand by for James' video and audio feed. There he is. Woo!
Yeah, we made it.
He's here. He's here. James, out of Charleston, South Carolina. James, the Bartender Boswell. James is a philosopher. He philosophized about all the accounting things, all the bartending things, and all the refereeing things. That's what he does. James is an expert in the fields that he has pursued. He's a smart guy. He's here to join us. He's here to add some dry commentary.
Hey, Boz, these numbers don't line up.
These deep commentary. So it looks like Lisa says he tends to gravitate towards the whiskey. That's how I know you're not an alcoholic, Lisa. The whiskey tends to gravitate towards me. On that note, we're celebrating the Olympics, Japanese style. Tonight, we got some hibiki. We're very I hope this is opened already. I got nothing.
Otherwise, it'll be a long cast.
Now we got this bottle. We're going to adjust. We got two bald guys here, a lot of glare. We're going to let him open
why
it
does
up.
that always seem to be the case? Always look like Mr. Clean on top of my
Because
head.
you're always bald.
He is always bald. So,
So
let
don't be
me,
a baldest.
I'm gonna adjust our call in. I'm gonna adjust our call in number. Thank you guys for joining. Let's move this around.
Wait.
We'll go up on top of the David here.
Are the lines lighting up?
The lines are lining up for questions. You gotta if you want to throw a live comment, you can join us with a live audio. You gotta text the number 212-239-1839. If you're watching live, it's there. Hit that number, shoot a text. We'll bring you on. We'll send you the link. We'll be happy to have you. We'll be happy to entertain your spirit request. If you call that line and you name the spirit, we will drink it. We got a fully stocked bar sat on the floor here in my basement.
Holy cow.
Adam, pop the bottle.
Is this going to be like the podcast equivalent of Murder by Twitch Chat?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know what that is. However,
Adam does.
and I don't think I think he's just laughing.
I'm just laughing at that intro that like sounded like we're like launching like a new football team.
You got guest appearance. Tori's shouting you out. So that's
Hi, Tori. How we doing?
You can actually catch the comments
Oh,
here,
sweet.
which is
Okay.
nice.
Hi, Tori.
So
Pour yourself some over here since we're celebrating Japan.
I think that's good. That's good. It's got a little reminiscence of the last glass of scotch I had a couple of days ago. So
We should get sponsored by this. So we should, put this link over here a little bit. No, it doesn't work.
all right. So let's talk about what we're drinking first. Here in Japan, New Jersey, we're drinking hibiki. Cheers to that. He's got a half ice cube.
We're working out the kinks here.
All right, here.
Cheers.
Got some nice German
Cheers, everybody.
Sweezel glasses. David over there on the left coast, what are you drinking?
Evan Williams bourbon.
Evan Williams. All right. Actually, on my list of the drinks that we're talking about drinking tonight. Yeah, we're
I
talking
wanted to talk about it, so I wanted to have it.
tonight. We're going to talk about levels of basically like the superiority levels of spirits. Adam's cracking ice all over the floor over here. James,
very difficult.
What are you drinking over there with your wide angle lens?
Bush Ice.
Bush Ice. Now that's always
No. I was drinking other things earlier, but Bush Ice is what we're going for the cast.
So we've been speculating that you were on a date, which is why we're running a little late tonight. Is that accurate?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you cut your date short to join us.
Yep. Priorities.
Yes, I completely understand. So,
Do you think she'll be listening to this podcast right now?
I really hope not.
Oh, that'd be awesome, so we can talk shit. But either way,
so
Although-
if you guys are watching on TikTok, we want to know TikTok. My eye line is over here. I'm sorry for that, guys. I want to know what your favorite spirits are. Instagram, Tori, you got to tell me. Lisa, Wendy, Phil, Johnny, what's up, Johnny? Carrie, Rodriguez. I want to know what your favorite spirits are. So if you're a vodka drinker, what is your favorite brand of vodka? If you're a whiskey drinker, what's your favorite brand of whiskey? If you're a scotch drinker, what's your favorite brand of scotch? I want to start it off right before we get deep into this topic. What's your favorite? What do you think is the top of the line when it comes to vodka? David, we're going to start with you.
Top of the line when it comes
Like
to
if you were like, I want a nice
That's
bottle
the
of vodka.
worst of spirit to pick.
Sure.
Yeah,
but-
it's really hard because like I can't tell the difference after Svedka. So Svedka, I'm good with Svedka.
oh, I could tell the difference from a Svedka and not. Oof.
I can.
If you wanted to throw a nice bottle on the top of your bar that you weren't going to open up, what bottle would that be?
I would get some. Fine. Isn't Aviator supposed to be good, or is that only gin?
I think that's
Gin.
that's a gin. Maybe
Gin.
they have a
Well,
vodka.
fuck it. Then I'm just gonna get gin because I don't like vodka. So I'll get Aviator.
All right.
That's a fair answer. I agree with that.
So
And vodka's a really tough one because good vodka is not supposed to taste like anything. If I'm gonna drink something, I want it to taste like something, not just drinking to get drunk.
Yeah, vodka is one of those spirits, coming from my background of bartending, is like you're using vodka to cut a drink in terms of flavor, but not reduce its alcohol content. So like you just want something that's not going to add any flavor to a drink. So as long as you're dealing with a vodka that doesn't have a taste to it, and so I agree with the Derv here, like anything above Svedka level is fine.
what if you now? So you're not a vodka on the rocks type of drinker.
No.
Well, I am.
The only
Yeah,
time I would
ask an
drink vodka
alcoholic.
on the rocks is like if I'm looking to punish myself.
Ask an alcoholic or ask a bartender what alcoholics drink is. It's vodka soda.
But I mean,
So here,
Vodka.
Or
Here's
basic bitch.
here's the times that I drink vodka. One, I don't mix it with anything. I'm not a big vodka cocktail drinker. But what I will say is there's been some times that I've had some bad days where I'm just like, I need to come home. And I'm not like, I don't come home and drink half a bottle of vodka. But what I will do is I'll come home and be like, all right, I want something strong. I want to taste this, something fuerte. And I want it in my, I could, if you could put it intravenously, I would. But what I like is a nice bottle of Belvedere. And as far as I'm concerned, Belvedere, Grey Goose, what's the other one? Putin or something?
So here's a great story about Grey Goose. When Grey Goose originally debuted, they were selling for like $15 or $20 a bottle, and their sales were absolute garbage. So what they did is they rebranded themselves. They didn't change the drink at all, but they rebranded themselves as an ultra premium vodka and doubled the price. And then all of a sudden their sales went up.
brilliant. And I think that's and that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
But the point is that like their vodka didn't get any better. Their marketing did.
So here's my thinking. Sorry, we're leaning into each other a little bit. We're our mouths are aimed at the same mic.
I don't want to get too close to something that's cylinder shaped. That's
When our heads touch, when our powers unite, all right, Captain Planet erupts, right?
It's wide bore.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd like a Grey Goose or Belvedere. That's a pretty smooth vodka for me. And then maybe I'll do like a Stoli or a
Kettle One.
Kettle One.
Great.
Or what's the other one? Tito's. For me, Stoli, Kettle One, Tito's, kind of second level as far as I'm concerned. Now, they also pretty much taste the same to me. And then you hit like the Georgie or the Absolute or what was the one you guys just mentioned?
New Amsterdam.
New
New
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. They make decent vodka and gin.
And they make
Yo,
good
New
gin.
Amsterdam gin is my go-to gin.
It's great.
But on the topic of vodka, I mean, at least in my crowd of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, like when we drink vodka, it's more like to
The teenagers,
and not to say
right?
that you guys are not also in your 20s and 30s, but just in a normal situation, like people are going to have vodka, they're not doing it on the rocks. They're doing it like with cranberry juice, or they're doing it with Red Bull, or they're doing it with soda, or maybe tonic. But to me, I never found a vodka to be something like I'm going to have it on the rocks like I would like whiskey or scotch.
I'll drink a vodka on the rocks.
But I'll
I
even do
think-
gin on the rocks, but I won't do
Okay.
vodka. Ooh.
So let's move to gin, because that's a better topic when it comes to flavor and when it comes to actual substance.
Can I bring up a point though before you do that?
No,
and it'll
you
help
can't.
that.
We're
Yes.
cutting, I'm cutting your mic.
Wow.
No,
That
go ahead.
cuts you too. So
Please do. Please do.
Do it.
This
Do
is where it's
I'll
worship. Because
pay.
for me, I don't think that drinking is more about just like what I'm in the mood for, but it's also a timing thing. It's totally about sort of like what you're in the mood for at the time of the day. Because like if I'm by like a pool at like 11 o'clock in the morning, especially if I'm down in like Charleston, South Carolina, or like
When
you
was
know,
the last time you were in Charleston, South Carolina?
I have no idea. I drive through that state. I don't hang there that much. I don't know anyone there. I
You
know
know, I
James.
get a little
that's it.
wasted. I
And
get
I
You don't know
James.
anybody there.
I beyond James, I don't know anyone else there.
Hold on to this.
So for me though, like I think that would be a great place to like have a gin and tonic like next to a pool, like before noon, you're chilling out, maybe some rosé. But I don't think like for me, I feel that I've become an expert in like understanding like when you should have a cocktail at certain times of the day. So like I'll maybe have a vodka if it calls for it at a certain time of the day, or maybe late at night to have like a second wind if I'm out at a club or something like that. But I don't know. That's my perspective, at least. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
Second win out of a club is Four Loco.
It's
Hell
one-
no, that's a
second-
heart attack.
Second one has to have some caffeine in it.
I said Four Loco.
That was a polite way to put that.
Yeah, caffeine.
Caffeine,
So
yeah.
let's get into the gin, and I feel like the Boswells have some opinions on the gin.
New Amsterdam is mid-tier.
Mid-tier, I would agree. Well, then what would be? I would call it mid to low, but it's not bad. It's
Right, so that's mid.
It's the Evan Williams of. So Evan Williams bourbon is Evan Williams gin.
What
But
about Beefeater?
hold up. The issue is
Overpriced.
it doesn't have a sexy bottle, and that's where they lose.
No, it does. You're wrong. It's got a nice square bottle. It's nice geometrics, nice clean lines. You're wrong. The New Amsterdam
Compared to-
bottle is nice.
Compared to Tanqueray.
Better than
Tanqueray is just
by
a cylinder.
far. Better
Exactly.
than Tanqueray by far. It doesn't hold up to Bombay Sapphire. I'll give you that.
Oh,
But
fair.
I think
Yo,
just
New
Bombay
Amsterdam and
Sapphire
Bombay
New
Sapphire
Amsterdam.
are really similar in terms of
They
the
are, but
geometry.
it doesn't have the blue tint to it, which makes
No.
Bombay Sapphire cooler.
Agree.
It
So
just-
what would be your top shelf?
Bombay.
It's this really, really, really fancy gin out of one of the Spanish islands, Menorca, that I drank a lot of when I was there. I have a third of a bottle left
And what's it called?
somewhere.
What's it called?
I can find it.
So
Take
you
me a
don't
minute.
even know what it is.
No, I could, but it's gonna be in Catalan. It's Gin Zoriger, XORIGUER, Gin Zoriger.
Shorty Gator.
Green little bottle.
So for me, I like a good Hendrix gin. It's got a lot of flavor to it. It tastes like pine needles and juniper berries, which I really enjoy.
That got deep.
No, but I think
Poetry.
no, but it's. I think of our upstate New York water that we used to drink, and some of that tastes a little like pine needles. I was a big fan of the water in upstate New York. When it comes to gin, the juniper berry is really the flavor that you're kind of going for, and I like a Hendrix because it's good and clean, and it tastes like juniper berries. It's that kind of essence of pine, but I don't get as strong of an essence of that in the other gins. It just kind of you're just kind of playing with the heat level, the gasoline level of the gin,
Oh, I agree with that.
right? Like
Okay.
the more fiery it is, the kind of more shitty of a gin that it is.
Have you guys tried Aviation Gin from Ryan Reynolds?
No, but again, I'd take that over any vodka.
I'll
as
be
we
honest
previously
too. The
established.
bottle design alone, like even if it sits at your bar, it's like I think it's like $25, $26 for the bottle. It's a nice looking bottle, and it's got. To be honest, it's actually pretty smooth if you mix it with maybe some soda or even just on the rocks. I found it pretty impressive. I find Bombay really good just on a mixer. I can't drink Bombay on the rocks. I don't find it that good. Brooklyn Gin or Hendrix, I could
Brooklyn
drink
Gin
on
is
the rocks.
disgusting. Brooklyn Gin is a
I
gin.
like it.
I love the bottle. It's a really cool bottle. It's got a metal emblem on it. And it's got like this 2-inch kind of circular metal emblem that people kind of pop off the bottle. It's a nice solid chunk of metal, and it's a nicely designed bottle. And I really wanted to, like, at Harlem Public, which is my favorite bar in Manhattan, they serve people water, and they use the Brooklyn Gin bottles. They'll give you, they'll throw a bottle of water on your table, and it comes in a Brooklyn Gin bottle, which is kind of cool. Obviously, it's water, which is misleading. But the bottle looks cool. The bottle looks cool, but it's actually really crappy gin, in my opinion. I've never, and I wanted to like it because it's a cool bottle, but I just
Does that get confusing when they do bottle service and they drop off a bottle of Brooklyn
Not
Gin?
that kind of bar. No, not that kind of bar.
There's no bottle service. I've asked them to just give me a bottle to the table, and they constantly refuse. David James, if you'd like to address your fan club.
James is checked out.
Oh, Maria. No. I was looking at the Brooklyn Gin bottles. But yeah, Maria, we're happy to have you here. And I guess to the chat, if you guys have a particular favorite brand of liquor, then let us know, and we can either affirm or deny your decision.
Why did Maria not want to say hi to Justin? What's the feud about, Maria? Tell me.
I didn't know there was a feud. I just thought I was being ignored.
No, but
Well, I think it's usually that Justin's just wrong.
Well, that does tend to happen. I in full disclosure, I work with Justin, so I know how that feels.
It's tough
Some
when you're
personal experience with this.
when you're in charge and always right, and you have and you lead, especially when it comes to
buy
like,
a boat and be right, please.
when it comes to leading the podcast and leading the company, you have to let people think that they're right so they stick around. And that's really, I can say this in good company because you guys are all on the same boat. I'm just the captain, so I know where we're going, but I'm going to let you guys pretend to steer.
That's a wonderful, sweet, cold sentiment.
I know we're going too. It's like it's like the opening sequence to Gilligan's Island.
All right, so here's what
We don't have an engineer.
We got gin, and we like Bombay, we like Tanqueray, we like
New Amsterdam.
we like New Amsterdam, but we're calling New Amsterdam medium tier.
I have
New
not had
Amsterdam's
New
your budget
Amsterdam, by the
drink.
way.
What's it?
I have not had New Amsterdam. I don't know why, but I haven't felt the compelling need.
I gotta handle a New Amsterdam here. James, what did you just say?
I'm just saying that if you're looking for a budget gin that will do the job, New Amsterdam is your pick.
I agree, and it's not bad. It's not a bad gin. So my question is, what is a bad gin? What's a gin to avoid when you go to the store?
Mr. Boston.
Really?
Why are you so incredulous about that?
I mean, I know it is, but I always wanted to like it. That's I'm a big fan of Boston as like a city. So it's like the guy, and
Wait, what is it that's so bad about it?
Well, it's about
is it-
$13 for a liter of it.
Oh, so it's like New English, basically. It's just like malt liquor.
I think Seagram's makes a gin.
Yeah,
do.
don't do that either.
yeah. So Seagram's, Mr. Boston. What else is a bad gin?
I think Crystal Palace might actually make a gin too.
Good.
Really? I remember Crystal Palace vodka. So when it comes to getting drunk in high school, that Crystal Palace was the handle that you could get for like $15.
No, less.
This sounds horrible.
So
It was.
This sounds like what I would want to like kill myself with.
When I played drinking games in college, Crystal Palace vodka shots were the punishment for losing.
So we have on the TikTok chat, we have Stoli vanilla with Diet Coke. The thing about mixing drinks with Coke, when it comes to the flavored vodkas, Diet Coke, for whatever reason, is always a better mixer. And I think that's because not Coke Zero, not Pepsi Max, but the actual diet isn't as sweet and it's got kind of a weird flavor. So you have to overcome that flavor with a super sugary flavored liquor. And I'm not shitting on it. The Stoli vanilla with diet, I imagine tastes probably just like regular vanilla.
That just sounds
Coke.
like hangover central, man. I just feel like I'm gonna wake up and feel like I get hit by a bus.
So
What, Stoli vanilla and Pepsi diet?
yeah. So I'll tell you a story about cherry Coke.
Oh,
and
no.
let me get this thing over here.
I'm gonna.
What,
this is
and
where-
5 olives cherry?
Yeah,
so
three.
3 olives cherry vodka.
If it was 5, I wouldn't be here.
The 3 olive cherry vodka and the Diet Coke is a combination that, for whatever reason, a friend of mine discovered it at like a TGI Fridays, like 15 or 20 years ago. Shared that, and then we drank that for about 2 years straight. We were big Jack and Diet Coke drinkers, but for whatever reason, we switched over to this sugary substitute, the 3 olive cherry. You mix that with diet soda, and you can't taste the alcohol. It actually just tastes like cherry Coke.
I like how you say discovered.
Well, you can mix other cherry vodkas with Diet Coke, and it doesn't taste like cherry Coke. This particular 3 Olives brand cherry vodka, when you mix it with Diet Coke, it's not like you can't mix it with a Coke Zero. You can't mix it with a Diet Pepsi or a Pepsi Max. You mix it with Coke Zero, and it actually tastes like a regular cherry Coke.
It does. I know. It got me into real estate.
And there was one night, Adam had been laid off from his job. This is like late 2014, I think.
Worked for my horse.
Got laid off from his job. And I had a bunch of Diet Coke in the refrigerator, and I had some cherry vodka in the freezer. And he came over, and we drank half a liter, or maybe 3/4 of a liter.
I mean,
it was a handle.
Drank whatever the entire bottle was at that rate. I think there was like this much left.
And it was a fun time. And I said, look, here's what you're gonna do. On Monday morning, you're gonna get dressed like you're going to your regular job, and you're gonna show up in my office at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, just like it was your regular job. And I don't give a shit if you just look for jobs on Monster and Indeed all day, but you're gonna get showered and get your ass out of your apartment and show up like you're a regular working person, and you're gonna keep the momentum. And rather than just being a bum and being depressed, you're gonna keep the momentum and show up. And somehow he turned into a real estate agent.
8 years later, I lost all my hair and I'm still here. But that being said, I am a bit curious, out of the drinks we've mentioned so far, would any of you choose any of those liquors on a date?
Ooh, good question. So what's your date go-to drink?
And I'm curious.
Derv knows
if
this
everybody-
answer and he's gonna hate me for it.
No,
My
but before you
fucking God.
guys answer, I just want to put the question out there to everybody else. What cocktail would you have on a date? Because you could pick a certain type of cocktail and get super fucked up before the date even like gets really into it. And then halfway through the date, you're just completely plastered. Maybe that's fun for a date or two, but like, it's not a way to continue.
So what's the point is, what's your date go-to drink? Actually, Instagram, Francis, Benji Pal, Maria Salas, Lisa, Pixie Gal, Jess 6969. What are your
Damn, Jess.
what are
Putting
your
it out there.
what are your go-to date drinks? That's what I want to know. I know what mine is.
It just seems ambitious. The 269s. I mean, you have to get 2 other people.
Listen,
Three,
that means
really.
she's up for round 2, man. It's
It's actually Jess 3989. Ika. Jess 3989 Ika. So I imagine that's like March 9th, 1989. But
I like Rash's comment.
So all right.
You have addressed all 5 Instagram followers.
So
Good job.
Lisa, James, you're gonna appreciate this. Lisa says the whiskey sour, or our personal favorite 20 years ago, the Midori sour.
Midori sour is a great drink if made properly.
How could it be made unproperly? I'm curious.
So if
It's
you've
made
ever,
too sweet.
if you've ever watched like a Ninja Turtle movie where they have this like ooze, this green ooze, that's what Midori sour looks
I
like.
just want to address the fact that Justin just used the word ooze on the internet. Let's move past that. So anyway, go ahead. It's a melon liqueur, right?
Yeah. It's a melon liqueur, and it's got some lime juice in it, I think.
Ooh.
And some simple. No, it can't have simple syrup in it. Midori is a liqueur.
Yeah, it's
So-
super.
Midori is basically simple syrup.
James,
Yeah,
James-
Midori already like sweetens it
yeah,
up enough.
That's my point. So, James, what is a Midori sour?
It's gonna be Midori sour mix, ice, and you shake it up. That's about it.
So James and I, when we were 15 years old, found this bottle that was full in the liquor cabinet in the dining room of my house, and we were like, "This is the fucking coolest looking bottle ever." It's in the dark. It glowed in the dark. It was this glowing green bottle,
Like an absinthe bottle?
Yeah.
but yes,
It
but
looks like what you
but
think
more
absinthe looks
radioactive, but much more radioactive. And did we have the internet at that time? I don't know how we decided to make drinks out of that, but
Yeah, the internet existed back then.
fuck. All right.
Justin likes to think he's 57 years old. That's
That would be a better explanation for his baldness.
So, but we made some Midori cocktails, and they were very good cocktails.
Well, and eventually what we settled on was like 50-50 Midori and lemon juice.
Yeah, because Midori is too sweet. It's just too sweet. So I want to know, guys, what are your go-to date drinks? And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, what are your go-to date drinks? David, you're up first.
Last place that I went for a drink with a date was a pretty cool little place 2 blocks away from my apartment in Sacramento. Little speakeasy-ish place. James went there at one point.
Ace of Spades or Shady Lady?
Shady Lady. And they have cocktail menus. It's like you don't order, ooh, I want this brand of liquor served this way. I got a penicillin, which is a Scotch drink with lemon and ginger, and it's really quite fantastic.
A penicillin made right is actually a good drink. And if the bar has a penicillin, did you order it or was it on the menu?
They had it.
On the menu.
oh,
Yep.
really?
So it's definitely a cocktail bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So
That is cool.
I got a thing about drinks. If I go to a busy bar where there's like the bar is 2 or 3 deep, I'm gonna order a 2 or 3 ingredient like a Jack and Coke, right? Like you're ordering a simple drink, but
That's basic bar etiquette.
That's basic. Yeah, obviously you want to make it easy for the bartender. Also, you want to get your drink fast. But if you're going to a bar where the drinks cost $18, $20, you basically can order pretty much anything you want. And obviously that depends on the time of night and the location. I was at STK 2 weeks ago, and STK I realized was not a cocktail bar, even though the drinks were $21 each. The old fashioned I ordered was a shaken whiskey over a cherry with garnished with lemon peel.
To be honest, the color was looked like a rusty nail sat in it, so you probably would need a penicillin shot.
Yeah, it looked like a rusty nail sat in the glass for a day, and they just poured it over a cherry and threw some orange garnish on there. So it wasn't. They definitely weren't up to snuff with their cocktails. But
You should have ordered a red eye.
If they wouldn't have known what that was. So if you're going to a bar that serves cocktails, you want to order a good cocktail. And I like, depending on what the menu items are, like sometimes they make up their own drinks, which is cool if their own drink menu sounds good. But if it's $20, $18, $20 a drink, you should be able to order, a penicillin, a Manhattan, a Boulevardier, paper plane, drinks, along these lines, I think are reasonable to order from there at $20 a pop.
James, what about you, man? What would you go for? If you wanted to show off on the date, though.
Dare's already holding his head because he knows what's coming.
Because he pulls this shit at a hole-in-the-wall Italian restaurant, which is
I didn't know it was a hole in the wall.
You saw it.
How do you not know
walked
some
into
place
it.
is a hole in the wall? It's like it just has a definitional look to it.
They were charging not hole in the wall prices.
Well, was there
San Diego.
that depends on the market. Was it white tablecloth?
There was no
No.
tablecloth.
Yeah, so then probably not. So what did you order?
Hemingway daiquiri.
The real Hemingway daiquiri. So let's readdress the Hemingway daiquiri, because Hemingway likes his daiquiri strong, with really no sweetener. What's a Hemingway daiquiri again by your book?
It's going to be rum, grapefruit juice, and Luxardo.
It should be like 3 to 4 ounces of rum, a squeeze of grapefruit juice, and like 4 drops of Luxardo. Is that about right?
Maybe the way Hemingway liked it, but that's not going to be a very tasty drink.
That is the way Hemingway liked it, by the way. But a Hemingway daiquiri is a little bit on the sweeter side, a little bit more grapefruit juice, and I think it's, what is it, 3 for 1 with the Luxardo? So 3 ounces rum, 1 ounce Luxardo, 1 ounce grapefruit.
And
I'd probably do like a 2 to 1, like 2 ounces rum, 1 ounce Luxardo, and then like an ounce and a half or so of grapefruit juice.
And that's shaken over ice.
And and I'd probably add a splash of orange and maybe a little splash of triple just to sweeten it up and smooth it out a little bit.
So it's not a Hemingway daiquiri.
I'm telling you how I would make it, not how like the classic recipe goes. Because
Boswell
classic
daiquiri.
recipes always require, in my opinion, taking a classic recipe and updating it to make it more palatable is a good play.
Fair enough. But yeah, so you're on a date. You're going to order a Hemingway daiquiri.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be showing the door.
By the bar or by your date?
Yes.
Both.
All right,
Jesus Christ.
but that's a good drink. There's a good drink, and it really shows that you're a bit suicidal and very well versed in drinks.
And just make it on the date when you're making drinks at home and not out.
So
Why do you welcome?
I'm gonna throw it down and get a bit deeper than you guys did, because I think it also depends on the kind of person you may be going on a date with. But I would maybe go for a spicy margarita, or I would do a Negroni, or maybe an old fashioned. It just depends on the kind of chick that you're with. I think it also depends on like kind of where the date is and like what kind of night you're having. I just think that, like, honestly, like if you're with like if you're like going out with a woman that's not, if she's just looking for a fun time, I would probably go and like do a spicy margarita and do some tequila shots. And
What if you were really trying to prove who you were as a person, Adam?
oof. Let's not
See,
have a-
that's why I was laughing. Is because if you're trying to like take the name of a cocktail and make like, hey, this is my signature thing. Not really sure what I'm broadcasting with antibiotics.
But
Yeah,
I would
penicillin.
use- I would.
You're going to need this eventually, babe.
I would, but no, like I think a big go-to drink for me, honestly, like a really cool cocktail is a Negroni. If it's made right, I think a well-balanced Negroni is actually a great drink.
Not a fan of anything Amaro, so I'm going to disagree.
Really? See, I like a good gin Negroni to me is fantastic.
If I had to pick a mixed drink off the bat and I didn't know the bar, but I knew they could make cocktails, I probably would go with the Negroni because it's a simple enough drink to make, and it's a heavy hitting drink. If I for the most part would just order a glass of scotch. If I thought it was a decent bar, I might do an old fashioned. And if I wanted something sweet, I would go with the Negroni.
Yeah. The problem is like a Negroni though, definitely it is a really sweet cocktail. So maybe you don't want to have too many of them too, which can kind of make you a bit reserved because you're going to be punished in the morning from a hangover. So probably it's a way to also kind of reserve yourself and not have too many drinks all at once, because I've definitely done that. And 5 or 6 Negronis deep the next morning is rough, to say the least.
Well,
It's kind of hard to get out of bed.
So let's hit the whiskey and the scotch. Let's level up on the whiskey and the scotch real quick.
For everybody listening at home,
I'm gonna open that right. Oh, no, do that again. Sorry, trying to get some ASMR here. That was shitty.
That was
Yeah,
terrible. I'm in a bad angle, guy. You all see at home. I'm in a bad angle here. It's a bit.
We're trying to pop the bottle of Japanese whiskey in front of the mic here. Ready?
We can hear it.
Oh, fuck. That was almost there. Hang on, we're gonna get it. Ready?
Ayah.
All right, there you go. So it's opened up. Top tier scotch. David, what's up?
Top tier scotch is tough because it's expensive. I don't really drink it too much. My go-to scotch is a handle of Johnny Walker Red for about $32.99 before tax.
$32.99 before tax.
Well, that's why I like the Doors, 35, 34.99 plus tax. Yeah. But
I
that's not
take
a
Johnny
top,
Walker Red over Doers.
but probably, yeah. I'm a little partial to Doers because I don't know, it's somewhere engraved in me here. Or a well mixed margarita. Um, but what's a top tier? If you're building a bar at home and you're gonna throw a bottle up there that you're only gonna drink on special occasions. Welcome back from your pee, James. What's your top tier?
For whiskeys, you've got a couple Balvenies that are very special. A couple 12 and 15-year Balvenies. You got the Caribbean cask. You got the other special casks that they do. Glenlivet, Glenmorangie, they do fantastic stuff. Glenfiddich. Those are all really, really nice bottles, and most of the time they're going to come in that really, really nice cardboard. So it's a nice display piece too.
Yeah.
Glenfiddich 15 or Aberlour cast strength.
What did I have last
speaking
week,
of-
James? It was a Glenfiddich 18, I think, right?
I've had the 18 before. I actually prefer the 15.
Because of price.
No. No.
No, I've never tried them side by side, so I'm just busting your balls there. I don't
No, like take cost completely out of it. I think that Glenfiddich 15 is one of the best out there.
David, did you just pull out the one with the cognac in there? That's a fantastic bottle. Fantastic bottle.
Yeah, cognac cask.
I've had maybe one too many of those bottles on the rocks. It's fantastic.
Not so much left,
clearly.
but- this is a birthday present. My birthday's in March, so this is 4 months in. I think I'm okay.
But
The Glenlivet Kevin.
David, there's also one now that it's like a light blue turquoise bottle that has like a rum cask too.
Oh, it's like a orange bottle. The Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve is really good.
That's what I'm talking about. It looks fantastic. I've been wanting.
Yeah, I got one of those for New Year's. Would recommend.
It's
All right.
that good, huh?
All right. So
Yeah.
what are we stocking the top level bar with, David? Just one. You're going with the.
I mean, something along these lines is always gonna be good. Like the Balvenie Caribbean cask would be a top choice. Any of the Balvenie 12, 14, 15 years.
James, what are we stocking your top level Scotch bar with?
For Scotch, it's gonna be Glenfiddich 15.
Adam.
Well, on my actual top shelf right now, I got Glenlivet 18. And I got Lagavulin, Oban. What else did I got up there? Oh, Lefroy.
I wouldn't call Lefroy or Oban top. I feel like that.
Oban's an $80 bottle of Scotch.
So we were having
I
this
think
conversation.
most single malt is going to be pushing top for the most part. I mean, we did
Single
find a
malt
bottle of
should be
single-
pushing top.
We did find a bottle. James, what did you say about the $16 bottle of single malt that I got from Trader Joe's?
What? Yeah, but this is we're playing by different rules here.
Yeah, but what did you think about it?
Well, it was good from what I can remember of it.
Exactly, it did the trick.
There's a few Glenlivets, a few Macallans that I like. I have a big bottle of
Macallan 12 is solid.
I got a bottle of the Macallan. I got an 18. I got a 14. I think it's 15 is a green bottle. We got a 12, and then
we didn't even talk about Blue Label.
Yeah, but Blue Label's I got a bottle of Blue Label, a great bottle, but I would rather drink the Lagavulin or the Oban.
Well, agreed.
Over that,
Because it's that
but
peaty, smoky.
But
taste
I'm always gonna have a Blue Label bottle, just to flex on the top shelf. But it probably is. It's definitely not one of my favorite. I'd rather go with the Macallan or even the Lagavulin, which is way cheaper than the bottle of the Macallan. The red box is a $200 bottle.
It's a big red box, right?
A nice Lagavulin is $95. So, and I love.
All right, what about bourbon?
Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare is good.
That's a good one.
I've never heard of that. Eagle Rare.
I don't have any here. And we're drinking a nice Hibiki. I like Hibiki just because it's a cool.
That's
bottle.
not bourbon.
Well, that's a whiskey. It's a straight. Yeah, it's a whiskey.
Right, but there's bourbon and then there's other whiskeys.
All right.
Agreed. I mean, I will say, like, I think a big go-to bourbon today, and I would call it like mid-shelf, would be Bullet. I think Bullet's definitely a good mid-shelf.
Bullet's solid for sure.
Yeah, I have to admit,
Expensive.
like that's been one of the most impressive bourbons and ryes as well. Just
Well,
across the board.
I like the High West. I think that's
Ooh,
always
yeah.
that's always a, and it's not super expensive.
Great for old fashions too.
Yeah, I'm a big bourbon old fashioned over the rye old fashioned. What else? What else are we talking about in the spectrum here? And what would be your garbage? Well, the one that's high turnover. You know, for me, for Scotch, that's a Dewar's, which I don't think is garbage.
Red Label, I think actually.
See, you're
is-
shitting on David's Red Label there.
Wow.
It's not low tier.
Red Label is
Label.
serviceable.
It's very medium.
Not to me. I
Um,
don't mean to shit on the taste buds. It's just a Red Label is so unbearable for me to just ingest. Like it actually burns. Even on the rocks for me. Like I'll drink Dewar's over Red Label any day of the week.
see, I'll take Red Label over Dewar's any day.
Yeah, you got 3-1 against you on this one.
2-1.
You said earlier Red Label better than Dewar's.
yes, but for
Okay,
whatever
sorry,
reason,
3-1.
but for whatever reason, I'm gonna hit that Dewar's first.
Yeah, but that's because you just drink in volume.
Well,
Well,
that's what we're
yeah.
talking about when we're talking about a well drink. You know, I go, well, not lately, but I usually go through a handle of Dewar's a week.
Right, but again, Dewar's and Red Label are about the same price, and in my view, Red Label is considerably better.
That's weird because I would think a Black Label is comparable to the Dewar's.
Black Label is worse than Red Label.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's like 55. It's $20 more for a 750.
Why
Yeah,
is
no.
the more expensive bottle not as palatable as the less expensive bottle? I'm just curious.
Yeah, don't ask me to explain it, but Red Label tastes better.
I love the flavor of those carcinogens. It's,
On the bourbon side, though, Evan Williams 100 proof is a really solid bottle for 16 or 17 bucks.
I don't necessarily know that I would be able to locate a 100 proof bottle of Evan Williams. We were talking about Evan Williams earlier.
Evan Williams White Label.
White Label?
Yes.
Make a white label to Evan Williams?
Apparently, I just go over that cheap.
Yes,
label.
it's the one that has
Where
the
am I
higher.
getting a
ABV.
white. I've never. I mean, I know white label Hennessy.
That's
but
because typically, Adam, when you go for the Evan Williams, we go for the big cheap bottle of Evan Williams. So I imagine there.
Well,
you go
I
with
imagine Evan Williams exists on other shelves than the bottom. But that when I go for Evan Williams, it's bottom and it's a heavy handle. But the same thing with me for Dewar's.
Very true.
Evan
They make
Williams
a
single
Dewar's
barrel.
Reserve. I've never had.
Evan Williams single barrel is legit good.
Yeah.
That's actually top shelf.
But I wouldn't
Yeah.
shit on the Evan Williams. James and I did a Jack. James, you and I. What do we compare with our sipping?
E-Dub and Jack Daniels, and E-Dub won. And this was E-Dub Black Label versus standard Black Label Jack. But so Green Label Evan Williams is a little bit rough. White Label Evan Williams is really good, and single barrel Evan Williams is legit top shelf. To echo Derv.
I was hoping to get to the cars because the whole idea was we were going to talk about cars, but then
What, so the drinking and driving episode?
in my notes, I was thinking about different levels of cars, right? Like you got Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, you got Honda, Acura, you got Toyota, Lexus, right? Like we got these levels of cars, but for whatever reason, this is SipTalk, and we started talking about liquor first. So let's talk about tequila real quick. What's your, I feel like there's not a lot of people anymore drinking what's that go-to tequila everybody uses?
Cuervo.
Patron.
No, Jose Cuervo.
1800.
Yo, 1800 Añejo is good.
Oh no!
But no, I think so. I think you got
Makes me sick.
Patron.
1800.
You got Patron as like your well, just about. And then you got your 1800. You get your Cuervo. That's kind of semi.
Cuervo is worse than 1800 or Patron.
But then you got
I
like
agree
your
with
By far.
then you got your Herradura and what's the other one we used to drink a lot of?
Casamigos.
No, but Casamigos is much higher
Casa
up.
Azul. Well, that's top shelf.
No, Clase Azul, right? Clase Azul.
Casa.
Blue class.
Milagro.
But Milagro,
Malagra. I don't.
that's not cheap though, right?
No, it is. It's pretty cheap.
We opened the bottle of Clase Azul the other night. That was a nice little
Something
bottle.
going on above my head here.
We got pipes in the ceiling. We are in the basement. We got pipes going on in the ceiling here.
I'm
So
in a haunted house. Over
I like Hennessy's authentic Mexican tequila.
Hennessy is authentic Mexican.
Oh, Hennessy's. It's a very Mexican name.
Oh, Shaughnessy's.
O'Shaughnessy sounds Irish.
No, it's Mexican.
So
The accent is silent.
Clase Azul, Lisa says, is nice. I think Clase Azul. What's the other one? What is it? 1492 Columbus sailed to Ocean Blue. What is it? 1942. What's the one?
What?
Fortnite brand vodka.
What's that one that's expensive? It comes in a triangle black bottle. Brian got a bottle.
Don Julio.
Don Julio, what, 1942?
1942. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good year for world wars.
You mean 1492 or 1942? Because
19. No, it's 1942.
I don't know.
It's
What?
their most expensive bottle. It's a brown, like triangular bottle. I have that in my house. It's great, man. It's
You
great.
I think it's trapezoidal.
Trapezoidal?
Trapezoidal.
It's not a triangle.
No, well,
It has a flat top,
maybe
therefore
a
it
bit-
has four
maybe
sides.
that-
It's a trapezoid.
You're right. It is more of
Yeah.
a trapezoid. I agree.
So it sounds like we're not getting into cars tonight.
I don't think so.
no, don't drink and drive, kids.
What?
I agree. Don't drink too much and drive.
So if you're building a bar and you want a well tequila, what's it going to be?
Luna Azul.
Luna Azul.
Yeah, David.
I'm gonna defer to James on this. I'm not a huge tequila drinker.
I'm
It's too
gonna
expensive for something good. I don't really enjoy tequila mixed drinks. It's just not my favorite.
I'm gonna go with Herradura as my well because I don't want to give people too much crappy tequila. Although sometimes I refill.
You seem to be really missing the idea of what well means.
Well,
Well,
but I'd
tequila is
rather
raw.
spend $30 than $19 and have something that's not going to make you miserable.
Yeah, you've never run a bar.
Sure, that's exactly right. But
I think
but
that
I've
wouldn't be the
served
worst
people-
thing in the world.
Because
Sure,
when I
people
was
have
working
to
at a
be
bar,
with
our
them
well
next.
tequila was like $7 a bottle.
Right. I mean, well, tequila. If
Yeah,
you
it was
got a well
Juarez.
tequila, you want to die.
I'm talking about your home
Yeah.
bar.
This was Juarez tequila.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Have any of you ever done a
With
shot
a name like
of
that.
well tequila? Like if the bartender's like, "Oh, let me buy you a shot of tequila," and they like come from the well for a tequila shot, and you do that shot, I promise you, if you have a high tolerance, you still want to just completely throw up all over the bar. It's
But-
absolutely the worst.
Yeah, it's probably Juarez.
But usually
it's
when you do
awful.
a shot of tequila and the bartender's by you, it's shaken. So it's really watered down already.
Well, no, it's just there was still a shot of tequila. Now you just got additional water in it.
Yeah, which is why it's
And
shaken.
Thank
so
God, so you don't die.
So it's crappy tequila and then it's watered down because they shake it on ice, which to me is really
Yeah, like-
right?
And if you're looking at a true well tequila, you're not going to be dealing with 100% agave. You're going to have like 49% agave and like 51% grain liquor,
and
Like
some
grain alcohol.
some fossil fuels in there, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like, some petroleum, why not?
So James, what do you think is like a high shelf liquor for tequila? What's a high shelf brand then?
Well, really, if you're going high shelf, you should be going with like some kind of premium mezcal.
Well, we're not talking about mezcal yet. We're going to talk about mezcal in just a minute. Adam's a nice mezcal fan, so am I.
Well, you asked me, and it's just like if you go to real
We're
high
We're
end.
separating tequila and mezcal because they deserve to be separated.
Mm.
See, I don't know because for me, there's not like a huge market difference between like a good mid-tier tequila and like the tequilas that are going for like $70 or $80 a bottle. There's just not a big difference there.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. So you get a shot of whiskey at the bar and they charge you $11.
Mm.
And then you order a top shelf whiskey in a shot and they charge you $60.
60? 60?
60. what's the differentiation? So I can tell you, if you go to a bar in Manhattan and you order a shot of whiskey, they're going to charge you $11, $12. If you go to a bar in Manhattan and same bar and you order a shot of Habiki, they're going to charge you $40 or $50 for that shot.
Right.
So, and I think that's obnoxious because the bottle itself costs what, $70 or something?
Almost more than that. I think in some places it's almost $100.
But
Easily almost $90 to $100.
But why are they charging you $50 a shot versus $11 a shot?
Because bars need to make money.
Because you're the idiot paying it.
Right.
Yes.
If someone's pouring you a cocktail, you're paying for the service fee involved with also the alcohol.
But why?
Everybody's got to get paid.
Why do assholes like me pay for that? Pay $50
Well,
for a
I
shot?
call you an asshole, I have to also call myself and James and David also.
The service fee is the same if you're pouring a shot from the well or if you're pouring a shot from the top of your mouth.
But first of all, I will go to a bar and buy a glass of scotch for $40 or $50. Adam will go to a bar and him and I will both order 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 glasses of,
or 12.
Well, maybe not 12 at $35 a glass of scotch.
Yeah.
I feel like James and David would say, I'm not going to do this. There's some cost benefit here. And I'm gonna stick with a red label.
I envy that judgment, might I add.
It's because you
Like we're all getting to the same place.
We're just gonna get there a hell of a lot quicker because we don't have to wait in line behind the bar. Also, we took the other $30 for your second drink and bought a fucking pizza. At this point, we've got to handle Johnny Walker Red, a pizza, and
but the pizza
we're not standing in line.
Yeah, and we also can't see straight.
Cover.
I don't want to sober myself up by eating some food though. It's killing my butt.
That's why you have a fucking handle between two people. That's the
right.
idea. You guys are going out and spending $30 per drink. Your first round gets James and I a handle and a large pizza. That's our first round.
Like well, here's the thing: is one of us is trying to go out with a girl, the other one's trying to go out with their brother and treat him to pizza.
Are you trying to go out with a girl when you're going out right now? When you spend this amount of money on drinks, are you trying to go out with a girl, or are you going out with Adam? Which is worse than me going out with my brother.
Just for the record, I'm still in my basement in New Jersey.
With Adam.
Yeah, that's what's starting to scare me. I mean, I gotta get a car out of here, man.
Raj says, "What if the girl that you're trying to go out with is a bartender?" I can answer this question because I've done it before.
We may have different answers, but I'm curious on yours.
And the particular girl that I was going out with was a better bartender than me by a wide margin, and we ordered pretty low shelf stuff because neither of us needed to impress the other one of them.
So what did she order and what did you order?
Super basic stuff like beers and shots and or shots on the rocks. And then we would talk about booze. We would talk about all the crazy things that you could do with alcohol, but it's why are we going to put the bartender through a whole bunch of rigmarole when really our mission is to just get drunk on the cheap?
So if I was going out with the bartender, I would have them order, because obviously I am not a bartender, nor a philosopher, nor a referee, nor a political scientist, nor an accountant. If I was going out with
if you were an accountant, you probably wouldn't be ordering the kind of drinks that you do.
Yeah, well, that's also really
no shit. I've seen my
$35. I had 8.
Hey, we were only here for 2 hours. How was the bill $435? We didn't even have an entree. So if I was going out with a female bartender, actually, if I was going out with a male bartender, I would just make them do all the ordering, and I would hope that they would bond enough with the bar staff at the current establishment that they would hook us the fuck up, and they wouldn't overcharge us on the drinks. But I would not do the ordering of the drinks, because I am not an expert when it comes to drinking.
So Lisa asks a great question here. If a girl asks you to order for her on a date, what would you order for her?
Well, 1, it depends on the girl. 2, it depends on the establishment. So if you're at a cocktail bar, and I've been at like some speakeasy type bars, you really have to look at, and when I say speakeasy type bars, like you're not ordering off menu, you're ordering on menu. And then you got to look at the menu and you got to be like, oh, this one says like butterflies and happiness. All right, that suits you. So you're going to order that one, right?
No, there's one answer here.
And what's your answer?
French 75.
I don't even know what that is. And you've told me what it is. So if I don't know what it is and you've told me what it is, it's not going to fly everywhere. What is it, James?
Sorry, there's a comment in the question. So I mean, I don't know how this changes the cocktail.
Hello,
The
Shalom.
The question is, what if that girl doesn't have legs?
No,
I
it
don't know
doesn't
how that
shave her
really-
legs, but
Oh,
also
shave
doesn't.
her legs.
But your presupposition is actually more hilarious.
On the French note, the comment was, what if she doesn't shave her legs? Because we're talking about French people.
Yeah,
Those of you who
but
missed
what if
the
she doesn't
comment-
have legs?
Well,
Whoa.
you're going to have to wheel her out. So
I mean-
you don't want something too strong. All right. So, but
Oh,
James,
this
what is it? What is
You're
a
gonna
French
have to
note?
anyways.
Well, the problem is, like, does that count as a DWI before you get in your car?
So James is the type
We
of
only
guy.
been driving?
James is the type of guy that likes to go on a date. And when they go to order food, when the waiter comes over and says, "Hey guys, what would you like?" James likes to interject, "She'll have the salad." And this is true, and this is discussed. And James doesn't do it. James doesn't do it to be a dick. He does it to present the illusion that he is a dick. All right, which he ultimately is, but he doesn't. He's not trying to give that away. He's just joking. So, so when the waiter comes over and says, "What would you guys like?" James likes to speak loudly and quickly and say, "She'll have the salad."
It's like
So
a questionable Family Guy episode over here.
So when the bartender comes over and says, "What would you guys like to drink?" and James is like, "I'm going to have an old fashioned. You should try a French 75." James, what's and there's no like tongue in cheek here. James is trying to order the lady a drink she's never heard of and impress her with a good drink. And I imagine there's a bubbly element and maybe some other grape influenced element. James, is there cognac in a French 75? What's a French 75?
French 75 is gin and lemon juice shaken over rocks, strained into a glass of some sort, usually martini or a champagne flute, and then topped with champagne with a lemon peel. I generally like adding a little bit of triple sec to it. So gin, lemon juice, triple sec, shake that up, strain it up, and then top it with champagne.
All right, my friends. So you go out. So all right, hombres. You go out to a date, and the lady orders a dirty martini. What are your thoughts?
Nothing.
She handles her liquor really well, or she's looking to get laid.
See, I think it's really futile to impart any motivations or deeper meaning in a drink order. Then that's just what they like to drink.
Yep.
All right,
I don't
David.
think I'm a badass because I drink scotch straight. That
All right,
doesn't make me
David.
cool.
You go out. You go on a first date. You're at a cocktail bar. You're with a girl, and she orders a whiskey sour. What are your thoughts?
Great. I don't have to buy 2 bottles of liquor. She can drink whiskey too. That's what I think. I think, hey, that's cool. But I don't think anything about her personality in terms of it doesn't say anything about her as a person.
All right. So here's I think the variable that we're not accounting for, Adam. I think we better not do more dates. So
Are you two coming out?
You're out with a
Oh, not
guy,
us.
and he orders a
Adam-
whiskey sour. What do you think?
Adam and I have been on hundreds of dates, and we judge the shit out of each other.
I mean, hold on. Wait. Let's repeat that sentence for a second.
I just
I feel
want to
like it's right.
attest. I've gone out with a girl when she ordered a whiskey sour, and I was just like, "Oh, so you can't handle your liquor?"
Well,
And
but-
she looked at me.
That's a
she's
really
like,
stupid
wait.
assumption.
Wait. Hold on.
Wait. Let me just finish this. All she said
Please.
back to me was, "You're right. I can't. One drink for me, and I am completely hammered."
Oh fuck, we may drop
Hold
the
on.
stream here. We're at the 59.
But I just
minute
heard
mark.
Adam and I have been out on hundreds of dates.
Yes, Adam's probably home many a time.
Correct what?
On this note, though, we're hitting the marker for the end of the podcast, which is which we could have had a lot more depth on this podcast. My bad. It's poor
I'm
leadership.
sure you two will get there tonight.
Yep.
Poor leadership on my part.
Yeah, just pour yourself a whiskey sour.
Adam and I haven't finished a single drink. Oh, Adam finished his beer. I haven't even finished my beer.
But
But
either
we're-
way, then the next episode's going to be about cars, guys, because we obviously really fucked up on the factor that we couldn't get past alcohol. Not to judge us that we're alcoholics. It's really we really like our drinks. Keep that in mind.
All right. So to those of you who like mozzarella sticks, I love Lisa. I don't mean to shit on the whiskey sour. But when you go out to date, you get the chicken tenders and the whiskey sours. You need to know there are better entree menu items out there. There are better drink menu items out there. Lisa, you got to take a page out of the Boswell book, and you got to order some exciting cocktails. They don't even have to be difficult to learn, difficult to make cocktails, but there's some good cocktails you'll like. If you're a whiskey sour,
French 75 is super easy.
the French 75. If the bartender knows what that is, they could just Google it and probably make it. But there's some good drinks out there. So hang tight, everybody. We're gonna hit that car episode. We're gonna hit the Kia, Hyundai, Genesis levels up. That's what we're gonna hit next time. Maybe we'll have a subtopic on that. Thank you, James, for joining. David, Ab, and I. David, thank you for joining. Adam and I. Thank you, Adam, for
All
joining.
right, enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Oh, wow. Okay,
And,
so
and
that's how it's going to be, guys. Damn.
Adam and I are going to have a few more cocktails. Speculate. We may. Oh, Adam, look.
I'll speculate.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oh my God! My mother's been listening to this podcast. I'm.
Ooh, that's a way to come out.
I am ruined as a human being right now. This is horrible.
okay, well,
Manhood.
So,
Adam's mom, we're sorry that you had to find out this way.
so
That was rough.
So thank you everybody for joining. We will see you next time. Thank you, Rosh Galeb, for many of the comments. Rosh is feeding us your comments. And for those of you who are not watching us live, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you rate us.
For those of you who are not watching us live, we're sorry for wasting your time.
And
they did not make it to this point. I don't know why you.
So all of the people that are not listening
who
right now,
listens
when
to
you
this
do
gets
listen,
past
just
3
remember
minutes.
it's 11:36
I know I don't.
p.m. and right now not many people are listening. They're sleeping or going out on dates and drinking whiskey sours.
but we appreciate you listening to us during your workout. On that note, thank you for joining us. Catch you guys next time. Adios. Thank you, Raj. Buenas noches. Linda, see you guys next time. Hi, Christina. Bye, bye, everybody.
All right, you made it through. We were a little drunk, a little incoherent, but that's that. So I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining.
I like PBR. I just got priced out of it.